Hi, I'm Asif Farouk from Finextra. We're here at the Monitise M-Commerce event, What Consumers Want from Financial Institutions. And I'm joined by Alastair Lukies, CEO of Monitise. Now, Alastair, a big talking point of today's event was the family unit. I wanted to ask you, how is this a market for banks, especially with regards to trust in the family unit?
Yeah, I think this cross-family, this cross-generational theme isn't a new one. In our whole lives, we've all been saying, Dad, can I tap you up for a tenner? Dad, I want to buy a new computer game. So that's been happening for years. I think what's changed and is changing at light speed is the fact that the pyramid's turning upside down and the consumer is now the child who's going to the dad or to the mum and saying, by the way, I found an easier way of you giving me the money, so isn't that quite cool? So we're seeing this upward generational education going on about technology. So the bank's opportunity is that when the consumer is first engaging with the mobile phone, 11 years old, 93% of 11-year-olds in the UK have a phone. So that probably 5 years before they get a bank account, they're used to downloading apps, they're used to pinging stuff around, telling their friends about apps. That's where the banks have got to get the engagement right. So they want the consumer to be saying to the parent, the kids to be saying to the parent, if you get that app from that bank, our lives are going to become much easier, mum and dad. And I think that's where banks have just got to get a bit smarter about. It's not offering traditional banking services, it's being in the space that the consumers are.
Do you think it's possible for banks to blow that trust, and what do they need to do to maintain that good relationship they already have with their customers?
Yeah, I mean, trust is just fundamental. When you're talking about money, it's not Crazy Frog ringtones, we're not messing around here with Java games, this is my money. And we've seen before, actually during the financial crisis, consumers' trust in the retail banking brands went up. So while all of the journalists and the media and everyone are saying the banks are evil, consumers are saying, no, when my money's tight, I need to trust the bank even more. So I think your question's a great one about how far can the bank go without blowing that trust? And Ben Green, who was on this panel here today, did a great job of explaining this idea of nudging the consumer in a direction, constantly having this 360 feedback, look at the app stores, what do consumers like, what don't they like. We launched a service 2 years ago where consumers could send money to each other using Visa's capability and transfer money between accounts. We thought it'll take a while. Today, $40 billion a year is being transferred across our platform, so they will adopt it. What you can't do is push it down their throat. So I think the banks have just got to take these small steps, and then when it's like fly fishing, and then when the consumer bites, you better make sure the platform is ready to go.
Now Ben Green mentioned the small merchant market. Do you think the industry is paying attention to small businesses, and when do you think will be the tipping point when that market really explodes?
Yeah, the SME market is the new frontier for me in payments. I think it's such an exciting time. I grew up on a farm. My brother runs our family farm, which is a pick your own strawberries farm. So people go to the orchard and they pick strawberries and raspberries and all the rest of it. And taking payments in any way other than cash historically has been really difficult for him. Managing his cash has been really difficult. Banking it, looking at cash flow, knowing when he can invest in other parts of the business, getting ready for harvest is all difficult. Well, with mobile technology, that all comes together. There are now technology solutions that mean that my brother, with his smartphone, with his BlackBerry, can not only receive payments using a card payment device, a toggle on the end of his BlackBerry, but also real time, minute by minute, day by day, see that his cash flow is where he wants it to be, or slightly ahead or slightly behind. It's such a powerful tool, and so I think you're right in your question. The marketplace is only just seeing that opportunity. And if I'm a white van man and I'm going out and I'm doing carpentry for someone or gardening, the idea that my cash flow is suddenly manageable day to day rather than Sunday afternoon when I want to be having a beer with the guys watching the sports on the TV and sitting down and having to do my banking, that's the big opportunity. And again, the big opportunity is for banks to be at the center of that.